Are you going on a new interview and you stressing about what you're going to wear? Do you wonder if you should put on a suit for the interview? Do you wonder if you should wear heels or flats? What are you going to wear? I am fashion style expert Christine Beauvais, and I'm here to tell you that it all depends. It all depends on a lot of different things. So let's go over some questions to help you get clear about what to wear so you can show up confident and feeling your best for your interview. So we live in a world today where there's remote jobs, there's jobs where people are in person and working from home, there's jobs where people are out in the field, and then there's jobs where people are just home behind the camera, the computer all day long. And maybe you just live a Zoom world. But I know for a lot of people these days, they are kind of looking to get back out into the world again. And one of the things that I talk about to many of my clients is it's a new chapter. Every time you start a new job, it's a new chapter for you. And you want to go into that closet and you want to sit there and you want to say, okay, wait a minute. I'm in a new role, a new opportunity. And I know many people are leaving roles that were not their best personality. They didn't represent their best energy. There was probably a lot of toxicity around. And you kind of want to take that old energy and let it go. And you want to say to yourself, I'm ready to step into this new personality, this new me. So how do I envision myself? But wait a minute, Christine, we were talking about the interview. Yes, but let me explain how important it is to know what the new vision of this new role that you're in. Because people make this mistake. They show up for their interview in this interview outfit. It used to be back in the day, wear a blue suit, wear a black suit. That was that traditional thing. But then you don't ever wear that suit again. And you've kind of given a false advertisement of yourself when you show up dressing one way, but then you look like another person when you're at work. So people overdo the makeup and then they never wear makeup. People overdo the outfit and then they come in and they're never dressed like that. And you're kind of like, well, something's not making sense here. Why is it that when you came to that interview, you put so much effort into it, but now that you're starting the job, you're not putting that effort into it? What's going on? There's a disconnect. And sometimes that disconnect is why we keep finding interviews and we don't get them because we are showing up as somebody that we're not and we feel uncomfortable. So if I keep pretending to wear a suit to every interview and every job I plan on getting, I never want to wear that suit. What does that say? These are little things that people kind of don't really expect to be talking about when it comes to their style. They're kind of like, okay, I just need an outfit for an interview. Well, what are you going to be wearing on an everyday basis? Are you somebody who's going to be wearing skirts and blouses? Are you someone who's going to be wearing pants? Are you someone who's going to be standing all the time, sitting all the time? You want to be dressing so that what you wear to the interview is going to be very similar to the person that you're going to wear on an everyday basis. Again, there's all different types of jobs there. So this is not very customizable because there's so many jobs I could talk about. But what I am most importantly for you to take away from this is if you understand that you're stepping into a new role and you're into a new energy, a new chapter of your life, then when you take the time to look at what you want to achieve, the growth in this job, the money that comes from this job, the lessons that come from this job, you're going to be a different person. The job that you left was very much different at the end than at the beginning, right? You grew, you learned things. And that's what you want to think about is how am I going to dress into this new role? How am I going to become the person I want to become? What happens when you're asked to lead presentations or you're leading Zoom calls and people are listening to you from all over the world? And being in your yoga pants, how does that really feel? Doesn't feel very confident. you really want to think about what clothes energize me and align me to my personality so that I show up being my best self. And when you really do those things, it's going to have a better energetic for you to be lining up and interviewing you at jobs that are really aligned with your personality. So you might be somebody who has this loud personality and you wear bright colors, and then you have to go work, and I've seen this all the time, in an industry that is very refined and elegant, and they prefer you to be wearing blue suits. They prefer you to be wearing not a lot of loud logos and stuff like that, and you have to refine yourself. I know that that can be so just like you're holding yourself back, and you say to yourself, well, what am I going to do, because this is the industry I do love. You can express yourself on so many levels. I've worked with clients, whether we've used their shoes, whether we've kind of popped up their makeup a little bit, accessories, ways that they can be creative in that way with their clothes. You want to think about all these components. So most importantly, I have to get you to understand is that how are you going to dress for this interview is going to weigh on your vision of who you are going to be dressing every day you're working at that job. Because if you wear a suit and you never wear a suit again, people are kind of going to look at you like, what are you doing? If you wear this full makeup, you had your hair done, you got all these curls done, and then you show up and your hair is in a ponytail and you're very casual, it kind of throws things off. And if you've ever been on the other end of hiring people and seen those experiences, you know that sometimes, oh my gosh, wow, there's a real difference. And it can feel really off. And you might be in an interview and someone can say something feels off and you don't know what makes sense, but in your head, you know, yeah, I would never be wearing what I'm wearing. I'm just doing this to look good, just to get this job. And that's out of alignment. And if that's your energy and that's what you've been doing, well, great, you have a clear picture that this is not even worth my time or energy. So ask yourself, what am I going to be doing on an everyday basis? Are you in a job that, requires you to be moving around a lot? Is it more comfortable for you to wear sneakers and pants, but you can create them in an elevated look? Are you in a job where you have to be presenting? Are you in a job where you're traveling? Are you in the car all the time? All these things are important, but you want to make sure that you're feeling energetically aligned, and you want to make sure that you are showing a consistency in your look from your interview and when you get that job, because that shows you and helps you feel more aligned that you've taken a job that you really love and you're going to have a great time. So I hope you found these tips helpful. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, subscribe and leave a comment below if you have a particular issue that you're trying to figure out with your wardrobe, and I'll give you an answer. Bye for now.